Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking through my most worn items for autumn. I'm sharing this a lot later than I normally would, and I actually think that this will probably be more useful for those of you who do live in the Northern Hemisphere and are just starting to think a little bit about how you might like to build out your autumn wardrobe. So as usual, I'm just going to dive straight into it. There is also going to be a corresponding blog post if you would prefer to just go straight there and sort of have a little bit of a read as opposed to listen to me waffle on. I will have that linked in the description box below. I also thought that it would probably be useful if I built out some outfits for each of these items too. So I will link everything that I wear down in the description box along with all of my sizing information as usual. Alright, so first thing I want to talk about is my most worn skirt. Usually I would start with tops, but hey, let's mix things up a little bit today. The most worn skirt for autumn was this little number here from Isabel Marant Etoile. I believe, if memory serves me, this was also my most worn skirt for summer. I have a memory like a sieve. I never used to be this way, but since having a child, I feel frazzled half the time. This is a really beautiful cotton, and for me, one thing I've really started to realize about my style is that when I wear print, unless it is a stripe at the moment, because I've sort of veered a little bit away from polka dots, I tend to prefer wearing print on my lower half, which is really interesting to me, and it's kind of fascinating how you tend to put together outfits and you find your comfort zone. And I don't know if it's because I do have dark features, I have really dark eyes and naturally dark hair, but in the winter time, or if I don't get any sun during the summer, I look very fair. And so my features tend to have quite high contrast, and so I sort of feel like if there's too much print up near my face, there's just a lot going on. Anyway, I digress. The skirt, it is fab. I bought it on sale, so unfortunately I don't think that you can get your hands on this one anymore, but I will see if I can find one on the real, as I do see a lot of Isabel Marant Etoile skirts on there, and it's sort of one of those saved searches that I tend to just keep my eye on. But she tends to do these sorts of silhouettes every single season. I like the fact that the hemline is asymmetrical, so it's slightly longer down the sides, which I think is a really flattering cut. I didn't mention this earlier, but I did notice that there was a bit of a sort of spring-summer theme throughout my most worn items, just because our climate here in Australia is quite mild, so it didn't really even feel like winter until maybe the middle of June. Okay, so my most worn pair of shorts, yes, I know, shorts, I wore them quite a lot in autumn, were these ones from Among. So I worked with W Concept years ago on a sort of spring-summer style video, and I selected the navy version of these shorts. I love them so much that I purchased them in this really beautiful oatmeal herringbone and then also in a chocolate brown. These were the ones I reached for the most just because I love the colour. I'm a big fan of neutrals, as you probably have guessed, and I think that the fit of them is really nice. It's a tailored style or silhouette, however, being in this cotton linen fabric, it does have a really nice drape to it. There's a bit of ease in it, which I like. Now, I don't know if these particular ones are available right now, and if they are not, I'm going to link a really good dupe that I found on And Other Stories. I featured them in a recent video in the black. I'm going to link that video up in the cards if you would like to go and have a watch of that. Onto something that does feel very, very autumn weather appropriate, a pair of trousers. And these were a really good bargain buy, and I highly recommend them if they're still available. They wash incredibly well. I was super surprised when I pulled them out of the machine because I wasn't really sure how well they would go when I laundered them. They are these dark grey trousers from H&M. I absolutely adore these. They're a viscose polyester mix, so they almost have a little bit of a wool-like texture to them on the exterior, and they have a really nice hand feel. I do tend to be a little bit of a fabric snob, and fabrics have to feel nice on my skin for me to want to wear them. I really like the way that these fit. They are snug around the waist, and then they have a very relaxed fit through both the hip and the seat and also through the leg, so they're much more of a straight leg trouser. I did get mine taken up and cropped just because I found that the regular length felt a little bit too long on me. Maybe it's just that it's not my comfort zone yet. I want to get into longer trousers, but I really love these. I love the way they fit, and I have them in 2 other colors because they really are just that good. I really like the black ones as well because I think you can't go wrong with a black trouser, and I say this all the time, but proof that you really don't don't need to spend loads of money on a great basic. As long as you are taking care of it well and you're actually just putting it into rotation and you're looking after it the same way that you would look after a more expensive piece, a lot of these more affordable items really can go the distance. Okay, autumn definitely is sort of the season where you start to layer up a little bit more, and for me, I usually will layer a t-shirt underneath a knit. That's kind of my go-to. I really like the way that you get this little banded collar detail around the neckline. I just think that it's really visually interesting. Now, my most worn top was a t-shirt. In fact, it was this one from Arket, and this really doesn't surprise me in terms of most worn tee, because when I did my video on the best basic t-shirts, this one came out trumps. I just think for the price, the quality really is unrivaled. It feels really nice and soft. It's a beautiful Pima cotton, and it does have a little bit of a slight sheerness to it, but I like that. It kind of makes it a bit more breezy. They do have a more heavyweight version if you prefer something thicker. Uniqlo also have a really good alternative. One thing I will say though, and I don't know if this had happened when I filmed my best basics video, but the seams have started to twist ever so slightly. And I mean, not something that's going to bother me hugely, but I did just want to flag it in case that's something you want to keep an eye out for. Now let's talk about my most worn knit, and it's under here. It was this one here from Quince, it's cardigan, and I found myself just reaching for a cardigan thrown over with my shorts, like these ones here from Among. I love this little color palette. I think very, very nice. But this was, it's soft, it's cozy and slouchy, and it just really had that relaxed vibe that I tend to go for. The color I think is coming off a little bit weird on camera, but it is a beautiful khaki military green. This is a cotton merino mix, and I thought for the price this is just exceptional quality. I have thrown this in the wash and it's come out great. Has these little pockets here as well, which is really nice, and then also the bell style sleeves. If they don't have this one available, I do think they have some merino ones on their website. Quince has kind of become one of those brands which I have looked to a lot for basics, because I do think that they are really reasonably priced and the quality is really nice. I don't necessarily love all of their washable silk pieces. I'm really, really fussy about silk. I have very particular tastes, and that's just me. But I have actually done a blog post where I've reviewed some of the things that I've purchased, and I'm going to link that down in the description box in case you'd like to go and check that out. I use mail forwarding to make my purchases, and I would just say only do that if it is something you really, really, really want, because it can be a bit of a ball ache, and I think sometimes it can end up being a bit more expensive than you might have anticipated, so worth doing your research first. But I use Ship It To, and they are fab. I've been using them since I was 18 and I'm now in my early 30s, so as you can tell, it's a service that I think is very reliable. Alright, most worn jeans are the skinny jean. The skinny jean is not dead. I do not care what Gen Z say. I love a skinny jean. I've been wearing them since I was 11, and so that's more than 2 decades that the style or the silhouette has been a part of my style wheelhouse, and I'm not ready, I'm not about to give them up. As you probably have guessed with me and the way that I get dressed, I wear what I love as opposed to what is on trend. And I think when you wear what you love and you feel confident in it, then that sort of speaks volumes. So, jeans that I wore the most are these ones. They are the authentic stretch jean from Everlane with the exposed button fly. I really like exposed button fly details. I think that it can be a really nice way to elevate a simple basic piece like this, and they are so comfortable. The denim doesn't feel like jegging fabric, but they are really, really stretchy. I did some stories because I actually did a whole denim guide, so I'm going to link that down below too, because if you want to see how all the different styles of denim that Everlane do fit on me, that'll be really helpful for you. But I did some stories and I was lunging in them. That is how stretchy these are, that is how malleable the fabric is, but it is still a really nice medium weight, but it has so much give to it, and they wash incredibly well. They have worn well. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've actually thrown these on, put them in the wash. I wear them in the 26 ankle, and I would say that is the perfect fit for me. I wouldn't want the 25. They would just be a little bit too tight across the hip, but a good staple, and in the faded black, very, very easy to pair with anything in your wardrobe. Okay, then we have my most worn blazer, which will probably come as no surprise if you follow me on Instagram, because I did share it there in quite a few of my outfits. It is my Everlane oversized wool blazer. Now, this was one that I've added to my wardrobe this year, I believe, towards the start of the year, and so glad that I did. I just think it is such a beautiful jacket. I think it is such a beautiful jacket, and it's funny because I'd been trying to achieve the shape, the silhouette for so long with other blazers, and it just wasn't happening, wasn't working for me. The moment I got my hands on this, I just sort of felt like everything clicked into place. The quality is really beautiful. It's an Italian wool. It doesn't feel too thick or too heavy though, so I think that this is one that you could wear pretty much almost year round, depending on the climate. I mean, I wouldn't want to wear this at the peak of summer here in Australia, but I know I can wear it most of the time otherwise, especially in the evenings if I'm going out for dinner. I took this in my usual size, US 4, and I would say that that is actually a really good fit on me. If you want something that's a little bit more of a closer cut to your body, then I would suggest sizing down one. A beautiful jacket, really like the length, the boyfriend fit, everything. Cannot go wrong with a classic black blazer. I feel like I always have the same coat pop up as my most worn, but it's not going to stop me from talking about it again. It is my beautiful wool coat from Kinder Salmon in this lovely oatmeal color. I have to say, I don't think that oatmeal is a color I would have naturally gravitated towards as a coat option, but since I have been wearing so many more neutral tone outfits, I found that this has sort of been the perfect finishing piece. I really like the fact that there is the contrast lining on the inside, so it is that double-faced wool, and then on the exterior the wool actually has this very subtle herringbone texture to it, very similar actually to the Handbag shorts. It is belted at the waist and has these lovely little patch pockets on the front. I think that this particular style has been discontinued, but they have reimagined it, so I'm going to link the updated version, or if they have this one again in stock, I'll link this one. But honestly, you cannot go wrong. I have friends and I know other people who have messaged me to tell me they've purchased this coat and that they absolutely love it. I mean, it is just a beautiful piece, and I actually often look at Kinder Salmon for their coats because I think they do some really incredibly stunning looking outerwear. Then let's wrap things up with my most worn accessories, starting with shoes. And as I said earlier, a lot of these items are more kind of geared towards the spring summer season, and my most worn shoes were definitely my Saint Laurent Nu-Pieds slides. I really need to do an updated review on this shoe, or just do a review on the shoe on my blog for anyone who is curious about them, but I find these incredibly comfortable. I have wide feet, I have a bunion on my left foot, and these really just don't give me any grief. I can wear these walking relatively long distances actually, and I do find that the leather version is much more comfortable than the patent leather version. Patent leather, just as a general rule, it doesn't really have any give to it. So you're going to find that it will cut into your skin, or it won't actually stretch out or relax like a standard leather would like this. So that's just something to keep in mind. I did size up to a 41 like I did with my patent leather ones, which was honestly, that was something that I think was necessary for the patent. With the leather ones, maybe half a size just to get that extra bit of length along the foot, but I think I also would have been okay with the 40. So you can probably stick with your usual size, or just go up half size if you want that room. If you have exceptionally wide feet, then maybe you might want to go up a full size, but they are just a brilliant sandal. I will link dupes down below because I say this a lot, but you don't need to spend this much on a sandal. Though I have started to notice that these shoes do often go on sale, so could be one to keep an eye out for during sale time. Then we have my most worn bag, which was my Quince camera crossbody bag in the mock cropped leather. This is such a practical bag and it is incredibly functional. It has the zip up closure on the top, the adjustable crossbody strap, which you could actually remove if you wanted to carry it as a little clutch. I really like that the lining has the twill, cotton twill on the interior, and there is a little pocket in there which is great for putting in your keys or a lip balm or something like that, or even just a little travel card. And this fits everything that I need in it. I use a medium-sized wallet, the Givenchy GV3 wallet, and that fits in here really comfortably along with my Apple iPhone 11 Pro Max phone and everything else that I could possibly want to take with me. I have had quite a number of people message me who live in Australia who said that they use mail forwarding to purchase this bag and they were so thrilled with it. I think for the price, the quality is unrivaled. I have not seen anything else that sort of matches this in terms of value for money, and so for that reason I think it's a really good option. I have purchased this bag as a gift for a girlfriend as well, and she loves it too, in the pebbled leather. It's just a really nice little handbag, so thought I would mention that. And actually I also thought I would mention my other most worn handbag because I get a lot of questions about this one. It is the Von Holzhausen shopper tote. So this one was actually sent to me as PR. It is a vegan leather handbag, and I didn't think that I would end up using it as much as I did, but this ended up being my second most worn handbag. I used this just shy of 30 times over the course of the autumn season. It is a really good everyday sort of a hold all bag, especially if you were a mum. And I find for me, because I'm 172 centimeters tall, that the shape and the size of it doesn't look too big against my frame. I'll show you guys in the cutaways. I have actually done a full review on this though, so I'm going to link that one again down in the description box below. There's going to be lots of links down there this week, but I thought I would just give that one a little shout out because I know a lot of you have been looking at it. They do smaller sizes too though, so if you are more petite, I'd probably look at a smaller one so that it doesn't look too overwhelming against your frame. So there you have it, my most worn items for the autumn season. I hope that you found this useful and really interesting. As always, I like kind of going back and reviewing and kind of giving you a sense of how things wear and tear and my thoughts on them, especially when I have reached for them and worn them over and over. Thank you so much for watching and for spending some of your day with me as always. I will see you next time with a brand new video. See you soon. Bye.